Sandy Krebs, but you can call me Chef Viva Vegana. In these videos, I'll be sharing with you how anyone can make delicious vegan food. So, let's cook. Chef Viva Vegana here. Today I'm going to share my recipe for tempeh, taco, or tamale filling. So, let's cook. I'm going to start off by sharing some product information with you. I'm not being paid to endorse these products. They're just something I use, so I thought you might want the info. The first one is this Knorr vegetable bouillon. I use it in place of salt sometimes when I want a flavor punch, and I have never found this product in a grocery store. I've only found it at online retailers. I like it a lot. It's easy to use and it has less sodium than a lot of the more expensive vegetable bouillons or vegetable stock products you'll find in grocery stores. The next item I want to tell you about is this West Soy Organic 5-grain tempeh. This is pretty good tempeh, and it's available at Sprouts and Whole Foods and Fresh Market and many of the upscale retailers like that. If you find it on sale, tempeh freezes really well, so you can stock up, put it in the freezer, and then just take it out one packet at a time as you're going to use it. So, on with the show! When you're cutting up the tempeh to use in this recipe, you don't have to cut it into very small pieces, because as you're cooking it in the pan, it's going to break up and crumble into smaller pieces. I've got the stove set to medium-high. Everybody's electric stove is different, so perhaps you would want yours on medium. We don't want it so hot that the vegetables are going to scorch badly. We want to let the onions and peppers saute to where they're nice and brown and have some good caramelization on them. And that could take about 10 minutes. To this pan, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil. This is the equivalent of one large diced bell pepper. I just used odds and ends that I had in the fridge, so there's a combination of red, yellow, and green in there. You could use any color bell pepper. The red and yellow ones tend to be sweeter, but if you wanted to use green, that's okay too. And then there's a whole diced onion. I'm adding 3 cloves of garlic and 1 diced serrano. You could also use jalapeno pepper here or dried red chili flakes. But if you're using the dried red chili pepper flakes, you won't add those until you add the tempeh when the veggies are done cooking. And the last thing I'm going to add at this point is a half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. We're just going to let that cook for a while until they're nice and brown. This is the 5-minute check-in. You can see that the vegetables are really translucent now and they're just starting to get brown. So we're going to let those go for a few more minutes until they're good and brown and have a lot of caramelization on them. As you can see, these veggies have some nice brown color on them. So at this point, we're going to add in the tempeh. If you were using the dried red chili pepper flakes, this is when you would add them in. And we're just going to cook this for a few minutes. As I mentioned before, when you're stirring this around and cooking it, the tempeh is going to break up and crumble into smaller pieces. You can actually encourage that by smashing them a little if you want to. Especially if you're using this for tamale filling and not taco filling, you're going to want much smaller pieces. I'm going to kick the heat down to about medium now. If you don't have a good non-stick pan, this cast iron skillet is very non-stick at this point. I've had it for about 30 years. I bought this pan for $1 at a garage sale. I'd say it doesn't owe me a dime at this point. Anyhow, if you don't have a good non-stick pan, you might want to add another tablespoon of olive oil into the pan at this time. And the very last thing we're going to add is 1 tablespoon each ground cumin, paprika, and the Knorr vegetable bouillon powder. I'm going to put a half a cup of water in the pan. And I'm just going to stir this around and kind of scrape the bottom of the pan to get any of the caramelization from the vegetables or the tempeh that's stuck to the bottom of the pan mixed in. We could turn the heat off at this point. And just make sure that all of those spice powders are really well mixed in. And there you have it, tempeh taco or tamale filling. Enjoy! I hope you enjoyed this recipe for the tempeh taco or tamale filling. Please be sure to like and share this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Until next time, let's cook.